ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste my dear friends. This is fourth video on the sayings of Swami Ramdas of Aanandasram, Kanagad, Kerala. Swami Ramdas was an enlightened and liberated soul. He was blessed by Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi, and as a result of his blessing, he experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi and Sahaja Samadhi and was finally liberated. So I start the video with heading as Jnana, saying 188. Right knowledge, destroying ignorance, dissolve the ego sense. True knowledge consists in your consciousness of oneness with the immortal Atma seated in your heart and pervading all life and form in the universe. Saying 189. Forget not that you are the immortal and blissful spirit. Saying 190. Identification with the Atma and surrender of all actions to Shakti grants the light of knowledge and dispels the darkness of ignorance. Saying 191. Do not seek the bliss of the Atma outside. Saying 192. External darshan, however frequently you may have it, cannot quench your thirst. You ought to drink the nectar of immortality through close communion and a feeling of oneness with the eternal Atma who dwells in you. Saying 193. You cannot eternally be demeaning yourself in the presence of saints. Receive the touch and be the saint yourself. Saying 194. Realize and give up all preconceived notions and thoughts borrowed from the expressions and sayings of saints who have given vent to them in their various moods of self-realization. See for yourself, understand for yourself, and assert and make manifest your own divine nature. Saying 195. Assert your divine nature. Be conscious of the presence of God within you. Don't allow the passing phases of life to throw a mantle over the revealed light of truth within you. Saying 196. Never lose your equilibrium under the stress of any external circumstances. They come and go like the clouds in the breeze. Stand firm on the rock of your unchanging and immortal existence. Saying 197. Contemplation of the truth leads us to the realization of it. That is, we come to understand and experience the sublimity of it. Saying 198. Know that you are not this restless mind, but that you are the immortal, all blissful and changeless Spirit. Saying 199, question yourself as to who you are, and an immediate response will come from within to the effect that you are the eternal, perfect truth and life. Saying 200, you as an individual actor apart from the universal truth and spirit are utterly imaginary. You and all the rest do actions by the supreme will and power of the Lord. Saying 201, consider not that you are merely a perishable and changing being. You are the absolute, immortal, changeless, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient truth. Saying 202, we are forever one with Him, though we pretend to be playing our parts as if we were different from Him. Saying 203, let us not forget that all forms are subject to dissolution, and let us remember that the eternal Atma, of which they are only the fitting expressions, is deathless and changeless. Saying 204, sorrowing over the passing away of the body is pure folly. Only what is perishable has resolved itself into its elements, but the truth is immortal, and we are in our true essence everlastingly one with it. Saying 205, Guru Kripa is always on you. Become aware of it and you are free. Awareness comes through ceaseless remembrance of what you are in reality, namely that you are the immortal spirit filled with absolute peace and bliss. Saying number 206, really to stand apart from the mind and watch its activities is blissful exercise. The moment the disassociation becomes complete, that is to say, one's identification with the watch or the witness becomes perfect, that very moment the mind dissolves and you attain samadhi, that is absolute peace and bliss. Saying 207, the Guru's heart is ever soft, and by constant meditation the Chela disciple grows into the likeness of his master and possesses the same purity and softness of heart as those of Guru. Forget not that the Guru is within you. Know that you are not different from him. Saying 208, yoga denotes equilibrium, a condition of unalterable and unshakable peace and joy. Saying 209, throw up the mask that enshrouds your real divine nature and reveal yourself in all your magnificence. Saying 210, however you may play at being ignorant or wise, bound or free, happy or unhappy, you are ever and ever He. Saying number 211, moksha is not dependent on any particular external situation or circumstance. Moksha is the realization of immortality by the removal of ignorance through the attainment of divine knowledge. It is primarily a change in our internal consciousness and vision. A man who is placed in a certain situation in the days of his ignorance may still continue to remain there in the same situation even after he has attained divine knowledge. Saying 212, God is the one sole reality. Our physically is only a transient and perishable manifestation of that great, undying, eternal truth. Truly, we are the immortal Atma, the changeless and deathless Spirit. Saying 213, He dons bodies and He doffs them, He remains the same and the same forever and forever. Different and diversity are only apparent, names and forms are impermanent. Saying number 214, realize that He, the infinite power within you, guides you, controls you, and activates you to do all things at all times. Rise above conditioned conception of things, that is to say, rise above the gunas and dvandvas. Saying 215, seek within, know thyself. These secret and sublime hints come to us, wafted on the breath of rishis through the dust of ages. Saying number 216, let us know that all actions, irrespective of any denomination, are pure and divine, because the divine alone is at work in the entire universe. Our bodies are merely vehicles through which Shakti works to fulfill her purpose. It is she who works in the saint as well as in the sinner. Saint and sinner are merely names. Ignorance makes us see the difference between the two. Saying number 217, no external darshan can give us eternal happiness. It can yield only transitory satisfaction and peace. We must seek fellowship of the imperishable truth within us so as to merge ourselves ultimately in Him and realize immortal bliss. Saying 218, believe that the Lord of the worlds, who is absolute peace, power and bliss, is always dwelling within you. Saying 219, let bodies come, let bodies go. We are eternally dwelling in Him and are eternally one with Him. Saying 220, why should you feel dissatisfied when you know that the Satya-Chit Ananda Swarup of God is within you? He is the goal, He is the path, and you are eternally He. Saying 221, life can be understood only by going to the very root of it, and the root is ever sweet and eternal. Saying number 222, all the inception of all phenomenal life and existence, there are the ever abiding calmness, peace and repose of the immortal and all pervading truth. Saying 223, you are the truth itself, you are the ideal itself. Infinity and eternity are the qualities of your true existence, where duality and differentiation have no significance. Saying 224, the conflict of apparently opposing forces in the play of the natural phenomena is viewed by Man of clear vision, exactly as a drama on the stage is viewed by one in an audience witnessing it. Saying number 225. Dependence on the joy of saints darshan is not the whole thing, because such joy we know is only relative. We want a joy which is self-dependent, eternal, and subject to no condition. Heading is self-surrender. Saying number 226. Self-surrender means offering of all your actions to the Divine Shakti, that is to become conscious by gradual practice that you as a separate individual does do not exist. Saying 227. To maintain the equilibrium of minds, the sovereign remedy is to submit calmly to the will and working of God, who guides and controls the destinies of the universe. Saying 228. Take anything that comes as being for your best. Saying 229. Have implicit trust in His mercy and goodness. Saying 230. Be brave and cheerful always, and let no passing storms of life overpower you. Saying number 231. Surrender yourself to the Divine Mother, who is the Shakti that works in you, and she will see that you live a true and peaceful life, ever guided and led by her omniscient will. Saying 232. Make your entire life and all its activities a blissful expression of truth. Saying number 233. To realize His presence within us and be the willing and playful instrument in His hands is to be perfectly free and blissful. Saying 234. It is He within you who animates your existence and activates all your works. Saying 235. Have unshakable faith in the Almighty Lord of the universe. Saying 236. What a glorious privilege it is to know by the grace of the Lord that He is the sole doer and that He is all in all. Saying 237. God places us in our respective situations, which, however miserable or happy they may be from the external point of view, are always for our good. Saying number 238. Life becomes blessed and glorious when all its varied activities are dedicated in their entirety to the Lord and Master of the world, who is eternally seated in our hearts. Saying number 239. Believe always that you are an instrument in the divine hands. If you do so, there will be no reason to think that you have any drawbacks. Saying 240. Do not eschew the usual work that falls to your lot in the worldly life. Do all such work in the light of sadhana itself as the pure service of the Lord. Saying 241. To reach the Divine Mother in her all-inclusive Swarup, you ought to transcend the symbol that represents her and attain the Nirguna aspect of God by complete surrender of all your actions to her. Saying 242. Submission to God's will in all things is the keynote of the universal vision. Man in this state realizes that he is a mere instrument worked by the divine will and power, ever resigned and cheerfully accepting all change of time and place as determined by him for the fulfillment of his plans and purpose. Saying 243, the antagonistic influences are not without us, they raise their hood from within. Resignation to God destroys them. Saying 244, truly surrender to the Divine Mother will is the sure way to receive right guidance and lead in all things. Depend upon her in all matters. Feel her presence in yourself always and be free and blissful at all times. Saying 245, to be dispirited by the sufferings of others, be they one's relative or not, is clearly due to the obsession of oneself by moha or ignorance. For one who is a mere plaything in the hands of every passing passion and emotion, all in regard to the perishable and transient, surrender to God is certainly a self-deception and illusion, because self-surrender denotes a state beyond the passions and affections of the ignorant human nature. Saying 246, to understand the working of God will you have to submit to its unreservedly, then you come to know that everything happens by his will and for good. Saying 247, impatience in any matter is a sign of weakness, so to be free from it, submission to God's will in all things is the way. Saying 248, it is he who gives us every situation and every change. He knows what is good for us. His main object is to draw us towards himself. He brings about all incidents in our life to fulfill this purpose of his. Saying 249, to realize Prakriti as the doer is to identify oneself with Purusha, that is to realize immortality. This is what is meant by surrender to the will of God. The will here is Prakriti as the doer, God as Purusha is the non-doer. Purusha and Prakriti are one. Saying 250, we want him and him alone because he is the only reality. Our work, thought and love must therefore always be for him. So I end this video here. Thank you my dear friends for watching. Please like, share and comment the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot. Namaste my dear friends. Namaskar.